What is happening, guys? Gary Jahman here, back at it again with a new video. Hope you're doing well, hope you're safe and happy. Today I'm reviewing the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, a camera that's been making waves among content creators. We'll dive into its specs, build quality, image and video performance, autofocus, battery life, and whether it's a good fit for YouTube creators. Let's get started. First, let's talk specs. The boring stuff. The Sony ZV-E10 Mark II comes with a 26 megapixel APS-C sensor, 4K video recording up to 60 frames per second, Full HD at up to 120 frames per second, 422 10-bit user LUT import, and Sony's renowned real-time autofocus system. A lot of stuff. It also features a flip-out touchscreen, a microphone jack, headphone jack, USB-C charging, a micro HDMI output, so spec-wise, it's well equipped for content creators, especially those focused on video production. Now, onto the build quality. My first impression, it was quite bulky. I have a unboxing video as well where I was a little bit surprised. Just look at it compared to the full-frame Sony a7 III, pretty much the same size. It is larger than I expected, though. This is partly due to the bigger battery, which is great, but also it has a downside, of course. While it's great for longer shooting sessions, the larger size makes it less ideal for travel, especially if you're pairing it with a bigger lens. I personally prefer a smaller setup for on-the-go shooting. Compared to the previous version, the Mark I, this is so much bigger. For studio work, however, the size isn't much of an issue. The screen is decent and fully touch-enabled, but it's not particularly groundbreaking. The lack of a viewfinder and flash emphasizes its focus on video rather than photography. That being said, the grip feels good and the overall build quality is solid. All ports are securely locked, which is a nice touch. And while I'm not sure about its weather resistance, I did use it in light rain and it worked just fine. On to more interesting stuff, and that is the image quality for both photo and video. Let's talk about photos first. Photos on the ZV-E10 Mark II look fantastic, whether you're shooting in JPEG or RAW. RAW gives you a lot of flexibility in post-production and the results are quite impressive. I'm really happy with it. The dynamic range is solid, capturing both highlights and shadows pretty well. For me, honestly, no complaints here. And just as a side note, I think all cameras these days are really good in what they're doing and there aren't really bad cameras anymore, or bad sensors for that matter. Video. As for video, this is where the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II really shines. With proper lighting, you can achieve cinematic results. It handles video beautifully and offers plenty of customization options for creators, such as the import LUT function. You can just import your LUT in it and it looks pretty good. However, for vlogging, it's a bit tricky. The rolling shutter is noticeable and stabilization isn't the best. So you want to keep your movements minimal or invest in a gimbal. On the bright side, audio recording works fine. And I'm happy with the sound quality. Alright, so this is now shot in S-Cinetone and I'm just wondering if this actually looks good. Do I look okay in terms of color and everything? I think so. Yeah, so far I think this Sony ZV-E10, it's a pretty decent YouTube camera, I would say, like a studio camera. Put it on a tripod and it will do great for video work, for photos, you can bring it with you and everything. I thought it was quite compact, but it's not very compact at all compared to my full frame older Sony cameras. It looks quite similar in terms of weight and size. So yeah. Is this really a good value camera? I don't know. If you're starting from scratch with a limited budget, this camera is definitely worth considering. It offers great video specs without breaking the bank. And in case you are even on a tighter budget, the Mark I would be a solid option. It has fewer features, 8-bit not 10-bit, but in good lighting conditions, it can easily match with full-frame cameras. I'll link up a video somewhere here as well. In lower light conditions, it actually performs pretty good as well, depending on your lens of course, but in overall I'm quite pleased. Of course, you'll get grain, but the image is still usable, which is very important. Sony has nailed autofocus on this camera. It's fast, reliable, and works seamlessly, even for animals. I have no complaints here, it just works, and it works perfectly fine. The battery life is okay. You can get through a decent amount of shooting, but for a full day work, I'd recommend carrying at least 2 batteries. Better safe than sorry. So overall, the Sony ZV-E10 or ZV-E10 Mark II is a solid camera. It's great for YouTube creators, content creators, and especially for static shots for like videos like this, like gear reviews and stuff. But just be mindful, just be careful of the rolling shutter. If you're planning to do any handheld shooting or just vlog around, make sure to grab a tripod or put it somewhere where you can have it like on a very stable platform. For overall content creation, this camera checks a lot of boxes, offering excellent video quality, solid autofocus, and a good mixture of features at a reasonable price. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Especially if you're looking for an affordable video focus camera to kickstart your content creation journey. And I think that's it for this video, guys. That's it. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tech and gear reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. As always, stay safe, stay happy. Good luck.